Your family, welcome to the show. My name is Tara Thomas, and you know what, y'all? I've got the wrong splash up. All right, there's the Wednesday wide splash. Thank you guys for joining me this Wednesday afternoon, y'all. It is midweek and it is mid-Thanksgiving week, so we know it is about to be shopping. It's about to be great food. It's about to be family and a lot of fellowship for a lot of people. Some people may opt to kind of keep it low key. Some people actually, y'all, don't have a choice but to keep it low key. Those of you that are blessed with family and friends, and some people are now having Friendsgiving, which is pretty cool, where groups of friends get together and kind of have a Thanksgiving type celebration, because everybody's not fortunate to have family. So, but I hope however you choose to gather and fellowship this weekend, and whatever you choose to do, whether it's all of those things, the shopping, the gathering, and the fellowship, that you have a safe and awesome rest of your week. But today, y'all, it is Wednesday. It is Wednesdays Why. My name is Tara Thomas. I'm an independent paparazzi consultant, and I take a few moments on Wednesdays just to reflect and really, hopefully, to provoke some thoughts. So today's Wednesday Why is about inspiration, y'all. This past, let's see, I guess it was yesterday, y'all. This week is flying by on me. But yesterday, myself along with 12 other young ladies, and I call us young because we still are, we celebrated the 30th anniversary of our friendship. In college, we all pledged Delta Sigma Theta sorority together. Over the years, we lost a couple. Some people, of course, who pledged sororities and fraternities over time, sometimes you lose someone to death. But we actually lost a couple of our line sisters due to some other circumstances. They are no longer members of the organization. However, over the years, our friendship and our sisterhood has grown so much that it's beyond, and I'm rocking a Delta Sigma Theta shirt today, it has moved beyond Delta Sigma Theta. And so now we celebrate not the sorority and our pledge line, but we celebrate our friendship. And so part of the conversation that I had with one of my really good friends yesterday, we were talking about inspiration, and so that kind of led me to the conversation that I'm having with you guys today. We were talking about how when you get to age 50, because she's about to have the big 50 celebration, I've already passed that, and so I've already had mine, but she's getting ready to have her big 50, and she was like, she said, I was losing my inspiration, and she said, I needed to remember who I was, and I needed to do some things for me, because particularly us women, and when you are not just a woman, you're a career woman, you're a mother and a wife, we get lost. And this is true for women who play those roles. Because I have another friend who does not have children, but she feels a mother role for her nieces and her nephews, like, tremendously. She's like the super aunt. So this isn't just for people who have given birth or have adopted children. This is for those of you that feel that role where we're mothering those around us. And if you have a spouse, that's work in itself. And then you throw in motherhood, and then you throw in, in most of America, we have 2-income households. The idea of the stay-at-home mom or the housewife is few and far between these days. So most of us are 2-income households where wife gets out and work as well. And in my case, I have a very demanding career, and so does the friend of mine that I was talking to. She's like huge into speech therapy and has done phenomenally well in the field. So we were talking about how you pour into others, and in her case, into her patients, into her 2 children, into her husband, into her parents, into her siblings. And she was like, I just really wanted to do something for me. And I said, I feel you. I understand what you're doing. And she said, I needed some inspiration. And so when I stopped and I was really thinking about our conversation afterwards, I was like, wow, what is my inspiration? And I always look at my kids and I think, okay, they inspire me to work hard because I want the best for them. I want them to be able to have most of the things that they want. We can't do everything that they want, but to be able to give them the things that they would like to have, as well as expose them to things. And it's not just exposure for them, it's exposure for me, because a lot of the like family trips that we take, we go places I've never been before either. So it's a learning and an exposure for them, and it's learning and exposure for me. And so they inspire me to work hard so that we can do, see, and be places that I've never been before. And I want them to see these things as young people. And then I think about, well, yeah, they are the who. And then, my mom inspires me as well. My husband inspires me differently because he's a creative person. So the inspiration that he gives me is more so from a creative standpoint, because I stifle that. Because the creative part of me is not logical. And I am a super logical person. When I do something, it has to make sense. When I execute on something, it has to make sense. And so he's more of a free spirit, whereas it doesn't necessarily have to make sense, but it feels good. And so, and then my mother, was just a super inspirational person. And my aunts, my mother and my aunts growing up were my everything, because I seen them kind of do the same things that I'm doing, as far as work hard, do things to make life for your kids very different than you, and expose them to things that they've never seen before. So all of my aunts were that way. On my dad's sisters and my mom's sisters, that was the core of how they were built in that generation. And so all of that's inspiration as well. And then when I think about how I'm inspired, it's, again, I'm a logical person, so I have to think about, well, yeah, this makes me want to go and be and do, but how am I going to do this successfully? And having to learn that doing things may not lead to success. There are going to be some failures along the way, but it's okay. The fact that I was inspired to try it, it was still a learning opportunity. And then when I think about the what is it that I'm going to get out of this inspiration? And one of the things, y'all, I have struggled with my entire adult life. It was easy when I was younger because, as a kid, you're in sports, you're active, you're doing things. But when I got to high school / college, and that kind of stuff became optional, and I'm one of them slow metabolism people, so I've struggled with weight gain and all that kind of stuff over years, and I lose it and I gain it back and lose it and gain it back. And so in that era of self-care and self-preservation, I'm constantly looking for what is that right answer to good health, to weight loss, to physical healthiness. And I have great women that pour into me. Dr. Jada Moore Ruffin, check her out. Kim Wyatt Ryan, check her out. They are both wellness specialists that are phenomenal. And they pour into women like me all the time about that how to get to that what. And so, I seek out those things, and y'all, I'm still failing at it, but hey, I get up every day as a new day and I try it again. But in talking to my friend yesterday, she was saying, I just made up my mind. I get up at 3:30 every morning and I go to the gym. And she said, I carved money out of my budget to hire a trainer, and we work out from 4:30 to 6 o'clock. And she said, and she's a little tiny person, y'all, but she said she was picking up weight and she didn't like it. And she did something about it. And she gathered that self-inspiration to make a change. And I was listening to her, and I was being inspired by her, because she was like, I recognize that with all these other things of being a wife, a mom, a therapist, the ability, once my day gets started, to then carve out time for me was tough. And I feel her on that, which is why I do my early morning jury shows now, because I was finding it hard to make sure that I get jury in front of my customers every day. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get up early in the morning and do it. Well, why can't I do that with exercise? I could, but I gotta drag my butt out of the bed, y'all, and I am not a morning person. And so it was just super phenomenal to hear her say, I had to do that for me, for my physical self-care. And then she said for her mental self-care, because being able to exercise also alleviates stress. And it's time that she has just to herself, and she's with her trainer, but just with herself, to be able to pour into her and take the focus off of everything else. And I was like, okay. I said, now 3:30 in the morning, I don't know about that part, y'all, but I got the message. And so she said, yeah, I do it Monday through Friday. She said, I'm seeing the physical change that I want to see. And she said, I just feel better. And so we were laughing and talking, and she said, then guess what I did? I said, what'd you do, girl? She said, I went and bought myself a new car. And she said, I hadn't had a new car in 20 years. And it was funny because I've done something similar a few months ago on my birthday. I went and bought a new car. And I said, I feel you. I so feel you. So we were right here in our conversation yesterday. And she said, I probably spent too much. She said, but it sure feels good to drive it. And so, being able to fellowship with her in that space and enjoy it with her, she was an inspiration to me, whether she realized it or not. But y'all, be inspired. Find something that helps you determine and define your who, what, when, where. Where are you going to be inspired? When are you going to be inspired? Who do you let? We talked a few weeks ago about boundaries and who you let in your space. Who do you let in your space to be those inspirations? Because just like we let people in to inspire us, we can also let people in that diminish that fighting inspirational spirit. And so you got to be able to discern who's in that, within those walls and those boundaries, and who's on the outside. And remember, y'all, just because they're on the outside doesn't mean you don't love them any less. It just means I got to keep you here to protect me in here. And so anyway, y'all, she was my inspiration yesterday. We talked about, over the last 30 years, the things that we've enjoyed about each other, the things that we laugh about each other with. And it's 13 of us, y'all, 13 black women, strong-willed black women. And so we fight, y'all, and we fight hard sometimes, just like real sisters. But we come back at the end of the day, and we're there for each other. And each of those 13 women play a very special role in my life. And but think about those things that inspire you. And if you haven't thought about it recently or in a while, think about it and let it be an inspiration in this week of thanks. That's what Thanksgiving is about. We enjoy the food, we enjoy the fellowship, we enjoy the shopping. But do a little self-care this week, y'all. Find that inspiration and let it improve something inside and outside of you. So y'all, I got on this cute little Delta shirt, but I got yoga pants on underneath. I got a doctor's appointment in a little bit I'm going to, and then I'm coming back and I'm working out. What are you doing today? What are you doing this week for that inspiration? So that's Wednesday's Why, y'all. I hope everybody has a fabulous, safe Thanksgiving weekend. And we'll catch up again next Wednesday. Have a great, great holiday weekend, everyone. And I'll talk to you soon.